Hi, in this video I'm going to show you a simple trick to diffuse or relieve cephalalgia of myotensive origin. First, I'll make a brief premise. There are clearly several types of cephalalgia, but luckily the most frequent one is the one of myotensive origin, that is the one caused by muscular tension. It is characterized by a soreness, a pain in the brow ridge zone, that is on the eyebrow, in the behind the eye zone, like it was inside and behind the eye, in the temporal zone and in the suboccipital zone. And it is triggered by many factors, including visual fatigue, changes in temperature, wind, muscular tensions, neck tensions overall, but the actual trigger, the most important one, is the occlusal lock. That is, that condition in which we clench our teeth as if we were biting something, and it clearly occurs in certain moments we don't even notice because we mainly use the occlusal lock as tensive discharge, or during night hours, or when we're absorbed and focused on doing something else. As a consequence, almost nobody realizes this condition. But as a matter of fact, it is this condition, because of the trigeminal cervical interferences and of the fatigue of the occlusal musculature, that opens the doors to the trigger of the myotensive cephalalgia. Alright, given that the occlusal musculature responsible for the occlusal lock is the main trigger of the myotensive cephalalgia, if we succeed with certain maneuvers in loosening the occlusal musculature, the cephalalgia will strongly diminish or it will completely disappear. How can you loosen these muscles by yourself? It is very simple, I'll show you. The first muscle is the Masseter muscle. To reach it, we'll use the thumb and index of the contralateral hand like a plier. Let's introduce the thumb inside the mouth, placing it laterally to the lips, and using this plier grip, we'll begin to perceive the thin layer of the cheek. If we slide deeper, we'll begin to perceive a fleshy layer, thicker, larger. This is the masseter muscle. At this point, let's raise the pressure on the muscle and let's slide up and down, trying to feel quite a pain. Let's repeat for 20 seconds and then pass on the other side. The second muscle is the internalpterygoid muscle. To reach it, we'll use the little finger of the contralateral hand, that is the opposite hand to the muscle we want to treat. Let's hold the mouth semi-closed, that is not completely closed but slightly open, and using the little finger, let's place it laterally to the upper dental arch, that is the maxillary one, and let's slide deep until reaching the end of range of motion, that is the maximum limit we can reach with the little finger. Once reached this limit, let's supinate the hand, that is turning the palm upwards, and this allows us to go still a little deeper. At this point, we'll perceive a fleshy layer. With a little finger, let's begin to raise the pressure, trying to walk it a bit in every direction and trying to feel quite a pain. Let's repeat for 20 seconds and then pass on the other side. The third muscle is the internalpterygoid muscle. To reach it, we'll again use the little finger of the contralateral hand to the zone we want to treat, that is the opposite hand, and we'll hold the mouth wide open. Let's place the little finger on top of the mandibular arch, that is the lower teeth, and sliding along the teeth, we'll reach the end of range of motion. That is the tissue zone we perceive with the tip of the little finger, that will have a muscular, filiform, fibrous texture, like it was a half an inch thick rope that slid lengthwise to this level. Once reached the muscular layer, which is the internal pterygoid, let's raise the pressure with the little finger, trying to walk it lengthwise and trying to provoke quite a pain. Let's repeat for 20 seconds and then pass on the other side. The fourth and last muscle is the temporal muscle. To reach it and treat it, let's place the fingers on the top of the head and the thumbs towards the temporal muscle. That is, the region of texture delimited before and behind by the hairline and below by the beginning of the sideburn. To treat it, let's hold the mouth wide open and with the thumbs, let's raise the pressure and follow the lines like it was a fan placed vertically, trying to follow all the muscular texture to provoke quite a pain, and let's repeat for about 20 seconds. All these maneuvers that I showed to you should be bilaterally performed in order to have a maximum loosen on your headache. Last point, the fundamental thing to do to maintain this loosen for as long as possible, you should train on the self-control of your occlusion. That is, as often as possible, more or less 4-5 times per hour, you should pay attention on how your teeth are positioned. And if you find yourself with your teeth touching themselves, detach them just a millimeter so that there's no contact, and try to ensure that for about a minute this millimeter between the teeth stays, the space between the teeth stays. Try to repeat this self-control several times during an hour, several times during the day, many times during the day, and try to do it in an aware and conscious way for at least 1 month, after which it must become automatic, so that your mouth won't automatically use this tensive discharge strategy anymore, and so you have protection against the possible recurrences on your headache.